I know. How
Kate,
exciting.
Are you as excited as we are, Kate?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Of
Yeah.
course I am.
The 29th album of Paul Kelly is
29th.
out
Wow.
now. Fever Longing Still. There are arena shows, 9 of them in
Yes.
Australia and New Zealand. Rod Laver Arena, Saturday, 6th of September. Tickets are on sale now, tickettech.com.au. Paul Kelly, thank you for joining us at Triple M once again. It's always a delight. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How you going?
29 albums, mate. Did you imagine when you first started out making music that there might be 29 albums in you?
No, I really didn't think in terms of numbers. I just write the next song and keep going. Yeah.
The newer album is Love Songs. I had the privilege of seeing Paul with band play at the Gershon Room at the SB just earlier this week, and some of them must have like a lullaby lilt to them as well. What else is on the album? You played like maybe 3 or 4 songs from the new album, but what can we hear on Fever Longing Still?
All kinds of love songs, and there's all kinds of musical styles as well. I guess we realised as you were making the record over the last few years, cause from a few different recording sessions, that each song I wrote was different to the last one. So we decided to make a virtue of that and try and treat each song as its own separate world. So we sort of got some mutant sort of soul type things and more straight ahead rock and roll and a few, a couple of real quiet ones. I mean, the record ends with a very sort of quiet, meditative song called "Going to the River with Dad." So with that, I knew that was going to be the end song of the record, and we had a song called "Houndstooth." I can never say that properly.
And that's on you, mate. That's your
Yeah.
fault, to be honest. Like somebody, you could have just called it something else.
Is
if
that
you'd
line
wanted.
in the song?
I think I've even.
Is that hard to
I
sing
think
then?
I think I even say it slightly wrong on the record. The take was a take, and that was it. So,
And it's also the cover of the album too, so you're married to it now, the Houndstooth dress.
yeah. Well, I had the song, and then thought, and then we sort of made the cover sort of fit the song.
Well, you've just finished the 29th album, but you're already halfway through writing the 30th. Are they songs that sort of you write them specifically for the album that's upcoming, or are some of them sort of stuff that you've had ready to go, depending if it fits the next genre? How does it all work? Is it just things that you write while you're going, or?
It's sort of one by one. So over the last 10 years, I don't really go in and with the band and say, this is the next record. We just go in and record whatever song. When I've got enough songs, say, 6 to 10 songs, get the band together, we record them. And then I guess I have what I call on my computer the odd socks drawer. And I put them all in the odd socks drawer. And then I keep checking. And then after a while, trying to get a few socks to match each other. So I want to get enough songs that are sort of talking to each other and feel like they could make a record. Then we start focusing on that. So what's happened, there's been 4 or 5 recording sessions over the last few years, and there's quite a few extra songs apart from what's just come out. So, and there's, I can see some of them will definitely be on the next record. So that's sort of, I've got the halfway. So it just helps me think about it, to get sort of some kind of theme going.
And then a song can find different homes in different versions. Taught by Experts is one of those songs that has had a long journey in your repertoire. But there's a version of it that is new on this album?
Yeah, it's a really old song. It's goes back to the early 90s. I did a solo version of it on a solo record, just live solo. Then I did a bluegrass version in 1999, and but I hadn't released it with sort of chiming guitars, and it was always sort of, when I first imagined the song, it was sort of as it is now on this new record. Don't really know why I haven't got round to recording it like that. It's just I think it just sort of forgot about it for a while. It's not a song we've played a lot live, so but now we've got a good version of it. It'll be in the set for a while, I think.
And I felt when it was played live at the Gershon Room the other night, it had that feeling of this is a Paul Kelly song that we all know and love already. It was just so familiar, so lovely, and we're getting a special version of it right here on Triple M Breakfast, recorded right here in the studios here at Triple M. This is Triple M Breakfast. Rosie, Will, Kate McCarthy and Paul Kelly. The album Fever Longing Still is out now, and you can get tickets through tickettech.com.au for, can we say that's the Arena Spectacular? Paul Kelly with special guest Jason Isbell and the 400 unit plus Fanny Lumsden, Saturday, 6th of September, Rod Laver Arena. I'm so lucky that I get to see you play in small venues, but it'll be a real treat to see you in this capacity in an arena.
Yeah, it's the first time I've played arenas as a headline. I've played Rod Laver quite a bit over the years in different group shows, and also playing with Leonard Cohen and Bob Dylan. Seeing those two in completely different ways, they made the space very intimate. So that gives me a little clue or some confidence as to how to put the show together.
And we've spoken about, obviously, this is your 29th album, such a huge catalogue of songs. How do you determine which songs you're going to perform for which shows, and how does that work?
I haven't really sort of started putting the set list together for next year yet.
Yeah, I can imagine that's not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, so we've got a bit of time to stretch out. We'll do close to a 2-hour show, I think. Got to give Jason Isbell some time as well. He's really great, and Fanny, she has a great connection with her audiences. So I'm really happy with the lineup. But yeah, we'll be able to do a mix of old and new. It's always just mixing them all together.
Now, Paul, one of your iconic songs, of course, How to Make Gravy, has been now made into a movie. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel good. I've seen it. It's good. They've done a really good job. It was lots of surprises in it for me, because when I wrote the song, I hadn't imagined all the stories they brought to it. So when it was Megan Washington and her husband Nick made the film. They also wrote the script, and I always, my attitude was, it's their film, it's their piece of work. It's not something I want to hover around and be sort of trying to control in any way. So, but they were good enough to keep me in the loop and show me the script as it developed. And lots of surprises in it. I knew in the song that I knew Joe and Dan were brothers. I knew Rita was Joe's wife and Stella was probably his sister. But all the other names were just like names. Right. So Angus turns out to be the son of Joe and Rita. And
so they've filled in gaps for you.
They filled in, they took it. They filled in gaps, took it their own way. But what I think the really good move they made was to make the story mainly be told from the point of view of Angus, the 9-year-old son. So that gives it a whole other, deep heart.
Do you celebrate Gravy Day?
I don't really celebrate it, no.
How to Make Gravy is going to be starting on Binge in December, but missed opportunity. It's not December 21st.
Oh.
It's the 1st. But everybody gather around on the 21st and watch it as well. So we've had you perform for us here at Triple M many, many, many times. You've even done a version of Little Red Corvette. You've performed Gravy for us several times.
And Anti-Hero, the Taylor Swift cover.
Oh, yes, we need to talk about that.
That is a better version of that song than... it's just, how did you recognise there was something in that Taylor Swift song that you could make your own?
I love the rhythm. I love the way that she phrased that song and the rhythm. And, the lyrics are great. I like a lot of her songs. I think she's a really strong songwriter. And the show she did last year was amazing. So I thought, I reckon I could probably find a way into this. Just the way, the cross rhythm for me, it was just as much musical little puzzle to solve, her sort of cross rhythms against the way she sings. So I took a bit of practice.
Are you going to have 35 costume outfits like Taylor did for your arena shows?
No, I just stick to the one, I think. Yeah.
All the songs that were performed for the Taylor Swift special that we did earlier this year won an ACRA. So you can add that to your ARIAs and your APRAs. So the Australian Commercial Radio Awards was acknowledged as being one of the best music features of the radio year of 2024. So thank you for being a part of that.
Yeah, that was a good idea. Good idea, guys.
Now, you had to find a song from your back catalogue that you haven't played for us that you're going to play today. And have you managed to find one?
Yeah, I couldn't remember what I've played here before, but I've found one. It's from St Kilda to King's Cross.
Wow.
Has that changed any meaning to you from when you first wrote it to performing it now? Both suburbs have changed so much.
It's it feels it just feels like an old friend, that song. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the album Fever Longing Still. It is out now. We will see you at Rod Laver Arena, ticketek.com.au, Saturday 6th of September with Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit Plus, Fanny Lumsden. There might still be an opportunity if you're in Sydney and Brisbane to do one of those special ballot shows if you've ordered or pre-ordered the album through your website.
Mm-hmm.
If you get to go, take a box of tissues. It was stunning.